All right, there's a few of you. Looks like. Let's not fuck with that. Yo, who's up? Who's here? Yeah, make sure you guys can hear me all right. Get rolling here in a bit. Yeah, let's give a couple more minutes here. Got an interesting lineup today. Market's interesting today. You guys hear me all right? Check, check, check. Looks like the mic's okay. What do we got? Let's try and get, I like to get about 20. We'll start it up. There we go. You guys hearing me all right? Everything good there? Not too loud, not too hot? What are you guys, shy? Yeah, let's get, what are we at? 2 minutes, it's 90 seconds. Give it another couple. All right, chat rate. Anybody? Nobody's chatting. Okay. Let's go over to our charts here. Dr. John leading us off here. Anybody willing to give me a heads up, thumbs up? Sounds okay. Yo. Wow, you guys are shy today. I think we're good. I think we're rolling. Yep, I think so. All right, well, there we go. A few more of you guys. Just I'm assuming everything you guys can hear me all right. I usually give it a few minutes for people to get here. There we go. CN Salazar, can count on you. What part of the world are you in, CN Salazar? I think you told me this once, but I've forgotten. How we doing here? We'll give it another 30 seconds or so. All right. Well, let's see. There we go. It's another 30 seconds. What is the market doing now? Not quite the rager I think that we all expected. All right, here we'll just get rolling here. Might as well. What are we at? Here's 4 minutes. All right, here we go. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Everybody knows, right? We're educational purposes only. All right, guys. How's it going? So let's see. I think we're all good here. I'm assuming you guys can see that everything is okay here. I'm always looking up since I have one of these giant monitors, right? So it's really the equivalent of 4 screens, right? So that's why I always feel like you guys are getting a great look at the bottom of my chin. But I try and give you a line of sight here. Okay, so right, enough babble. Let's get her rolling here. Got an interesting lineup here from you guys. Some good stuff to check out here. And I think we'll probably get through here. So anyone who is not a member here who's watching, if you have some requests here, let us know. I think we may have some time for a few. And as I will always, I just kind of mentioned this. I know members, you probably get tired of hearing this, but just for those of you that are joining us, maybe first time, or you're kind of curious, or I've seen some bids from this guy. What's this all about? So what we do is we poll the members. We ask them to give us the assets that they're tracking, trading, watching for setup. Maybe they're in, maybe they're not. You know, the idea is, you know, what's the top of your watch list? And then it's two things. We're evaluating, okay, how are they progressing with our methods, which shows itself, right? So the more, you know, we've been doing this for almost 5 years now, so I see this great improvement from traders from when they started with us. But additionally, the benefit for someone watching beyond, oh, okay, is this something you'd like to be working on, developing some of these skill sets, but also just great trade setups, right? So many people, you know, I get this, right? They maybe they don't have the time or the expertise, or they're just like, look, man, I'm not sure. I just tell you know, what should I trade? What's good right now? You know, where can I get good risk reward? So there is definitely the potential to just tune in here and get a few ideas. Maybe you say, well, okay, that's interesting. I don't have you know, enough Elliott Wave or market structure expertise, but I can kind of use, based on the skill set that I do have, I can look for maybe an entry here. So great opportunity potentially for setups, we do all asset classes, right? So many people think of us for crypto only, but that's really, as I've said many times, I could care less what the chart is, right? What the asset is makes no difference to me. They all trade the same way, right? Because people do the same things. Okay, enough of that. So let's get started here. So this thing. Man, when I tried a different mic, I got nothing but complaints that you guys couldn't hear me. So this is Dr. John, right? Always good to hear from Dr. John. And this is Rivian, the Tesla killer. I don't know if it's the Tesla killer, but certainly their stock looks pretty interesting. So this is a 30-minute, right? So let's get some perspective, right? So there's the. I don't like this new thing they're doing. There's a little perspective. And this is, I like that he's doing this. I used to use this much more than I do, just because I think it can be a little hard to see. But I always use this just because it made grabbing the swings, right, super easy to get, oh, where am I right on it, right? So it gave you kind of a little bit. And somebody actually turned it into a tool. Always amuses me. There's 4 or 5 TDU tools in TradingView. This is one I'd never seen before, where he's kind of using, you know, for people that are just getting started, this Donchian channel. And really, Donchian channel is the precursor to market structure, right? I mean, it's essentially damn near the same thing, right? So it's, as I will tell you, there's very little that's new in the markets from the technical perspective. Sure, right now we're all, everybody's AI crazy, and that is new. But the methods that the AI is using will probably be grounded in things that people have been doing for years. And that's the case with market structure. It's just a little, it's sexed up for the marketing, right? It's smart money. Well, who doesn't want to trade with the smart money, right? So I got to give the guy credit, ICT, just brilliant marketer. But, right, so, okay, you know, great. Okay. Well, how does that help me? Well, we'll look at a few examples here where we can just kind of break down the market structure, right? Is there any question about what the market structure was going, right? Downtrend, right? Now we hit a low here and we get, well, let's zoom in there a little bit. All right. So one of the things I'm going to, Dr. John, just since we don't need it right now, I'm going to hide this a little bit here so we can dig in a little bit more. So things to always look for at a low, right? When you see something like this, right? So what is likely happening here? And we can label this coming down. Well, clearly you got, you know, again. So often this is I would encourage you to kind of approach Elliott this way, particularly if you're learning. Okay, where are the obvious threes? Where are there some obvious fives? Well, we can kind of look. Oh, this looks like you'd have some sort of a diag, right? All the overlap, which is very common, when you're reversing a trend, right? Because the bulls and bears are still battling, right? And one side has not overwhelmed. But you can kind of see how this, geez, this is a great example. Just, it shouldn't be that terribly hard, right? Okay, where are the threes? Okay, this gets a little wonky here, right? It's a little challenging. Oh shit, that looks actually... like it looks like that's a higher high. Oh, I don't know that it matters. Let's just do this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down at the bottom. So we got something like this here. So here's a clear, right, as we're last little correction here before we come down, right? This should be something that your eye just gets tuned to, right? So if I see that, like when it's that drop dead in your face, like, oh my God, right? A 5-year-old can spot that, right? When you see that, okay, heads up, right? So now when you see it, right, not to get off track here, but when you see it, I mean, what couldn't this have been? Oh, 1, 2, 3, we come, yeah, of course, right? Of course it could. Now you can work backwards from that and say, okay, well, could I have finished here? Possibly. Let's just label it, right? So could this be 1, 2? You're looking for a 3. You're probably not here. So now you're kind of, it's a little Elliott shuffle here. Is that a 4? Is it real? Or, is that when you have gaps like that? You can go to a line chart. Okay, do I really have it? Maybe not, right? So that would make you think, oh, if I see a 3 here, good possibility. And this is partly what makes trading hard. The market has done this. You think, oh, market's going up, right? But that's right where you want to sell it, right? So if you have any inclination here that this is not done, right? And you could make a case here that doesn't look like we're done because there's not the 3. Doesn't look like it's completed here. Oh, and then you might use some tools here. We're going to get to the hard right edge here. You're why I'm here. Maybe a teachable moment. Okay, so maybe here. Okay, are we in log scale? Yeah, we are. Let's come out of log scale. Okay, maybe you talked yourself into there, right? There's a good spot. Oops. Don't want you out of there. I want come out of there. 3, 4. Do you have a 5 there? Right, you don't. So okay, maybe you're down to a smaller time frame. You're kind of forcing it. But when you see this, that's the opportunity, right? So because the risk reward is so friendly. Okay, well, if we break this, plus look here, what they do here. That's fatter than I want. But you see it, right? So they run the high there. It's just little. Let's pop the stops. Let's pop them, right? And then how do we know that that's what happened? Look what came off of it. So the risk reward here is what I want you to focus on. Now you could have used the prior low. Well, there's 4 to 1. Maybe we're going beyond it. Maybe you're doing something along these lines, right? These are just common methods for anticipating a low, right? Length of the 1 projected from the 4, 100% the most common. Well, what do? 100%. Right, now come off of it, right? So here's the kind of the same phenomenon here. Because what I want you to focus on is the risk reward. Okay, oh, could this be a 1? Well, it sure doesn't look like the corrective 3. Could that be an impulse? Well, when they're coming down here, is there any doubt about what bears are after, right? They know there's liquidity down there. They're going to try and get it. So potentially, those are stops that fuel a move lower. Potentially, right? You just are going to bend over the breakout traders, right? Which happens to them, well, there's a good example of it. But the fact that they can't get it is telling, right? What do you mean they can't get the stops? Right? Lower low, lower low, lower low. Wait a minute. Right? So could you be a buyer here, right? So same kind of idea. Where can I get long with good risk reward? Well, you use the low, right? Because if if it's not it's the 5 or it's not, right? So if you put it 1 tick below the low, 1, 2, right? What are you looking for here? You're looking for a 3. Well, let's just use it, right? What's the most common target for a 3? Right? 1618. Let's use that. What do we get there? 8 to 1. Did we get it? Yeah, you did, right? And more, right? Because this looks like, oh, Victor John, I don't know, man. Oh, well, that'll fly. All right, let's go with that. But this is what, right? How much can I make, right? How much can I lose, right? See, what's the amateur thinking? How much can I make? What's the professional thinking? What's my risk, right? What's my risk reward of this trade? Again, I've been using this a lot, right? If you set this up here and now you're evaluating end of the month, whatever it is, week, day, wherever you're reviewing your trades, are you going to feel like a complete idiot taking that trade? No reason to. No reason to. Perfectly good. I mean, this is great Elliott here, right? People say, oh, fuck, Elliott Wave, that's for old folks. Well, maybe some truth in that. But point being, I mean, it's not like we don't still see it in the market. It's not like, oh, well, the markets are so sophisticated now that these 5s and 3s just, have no bearing anymore, right? It's all got to be market structure and smart money. And all right, before you throw out the Elliott, I would encourage you to rethink that, right? Do we see it, right? So do we see it? Do we see the 5s and 3s? Right? I mean, do we? Well, then additionally, you kind of look down here and say, okay, well, this all looks like a big range, right? Doesn't it? Kind of look like a range, possibly accumulation. Isn't that what you'd anticipate? Right. So think of it. If you saw this bottoming action here, wouldn't that be something that would occur to you? Potentially, this is accumulation here. Right, we're at a low. You've got, God damn it, that thing gets in my way. You've got all of this price action here, and then look what comes out of it. Guarantee you someone sold it right there, right? Well, of course they did, right? We have a trade here. What are they thinking? Down we go, right? How do we know that likely, right? You never know for sure. Likely you had some institutional participation here. Is look at the V that comes out of there, right? Look at how aggressive, right? So it's impulsive, right? Boom, right? And you've got big candles here. So this is signs of institutions, whales, whatever you want to call them, coming into the market here, right, boom, and then we go. Now, earnings tomorrow, or is this earnings headlines? It's not earnings, it's just a news headline. The earnings are coming in August. Okay, well, this is a great start to it, is it not? Oh, I don't want that color. Let's go to something like a blue here. Okay, let's get that off of there. Okay, so this is... Well, Dr. John, let's go down to a 4-hour here and see. Does that because it looks to me like you could do this a couple of different ways. You could go A, B, C. You're kind of doing it, right? So here, let's take this down a degree. Yeah, this flies, right? Let's go with it. Okay, so so do you see he's doing this? Let's get you out of there this way. So it's 1 ABC. Your size here. Let's get these down. Okay, 1. Let's bring you up to micro. Okay, so 1, 2, 1 ABC 2. I don't know that it matters much, right? So the question would be, okay, if we're going to let's go down to the 1 hour here. Do we need this extra leg here? Well, I mean, that's what I would be thinking, right? So much of what I'm doing here is just kind of telling you how I would approach this. Let's go to 1 here, and okay, so let's go with it. I might do it a little differently if I spend some more time with it. Doesn't really matter. We've got a range. We break out of the range, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Let's just out of curiosity, because I'm curious if he did this. I bet he did. Right, so 1, 2. Okay, into the 3. Okay, that's where else would we put it, right? So either it's what's there? Either it's there or it's not. So is this the 3, 4? Certain no reason. It's not going to hurt the trade. It's not like, oh God, he's got this completely ass backwards. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're looking for a retrace here. Come to fill the gap. That's a reasonable thought. You've probably got some of this structure to play with as well here, right in the middle of that gap. It's interesting, right? The gapped through that resistance there. Interesting, right? Real sign of strength. Now, what are we running into? So often you just put your cursor on it and say, okay, well, here's the last gap. So you could probably make a case here that this was, here we can do it. Oh, let's do it this way. Big candle swing up here before we go down. So reasonable to think you've got some supply here, right? The big swing up before we head down. That's right where we pivot. Okay, so the question is, okay, why do we stop there, right? Okay, is it this? Where's a Waldo, right? Let's start with the pivot from the high. Could it be the 50, right? Or does it matter? Right? Do we need to know why? Well, we can certainly make an educated estimate as to why it's stopping here. Well, we've got a supply zone, and we're right at the 50. So so just as often let me get rid of that. Is often the case with technical analysis, we don't know. There's no knowing possible. There's only a series of clues, really, right? So when I see that kind of confluence here, where I've got two technical components, okay, well, that wouldn't be the place that I would want to, oh, but look at this thing ripping, let's get long. Just right off the bat. Now, I'm not saying I would short it either, but if I've got this thing started here, let's keep in mind here, before you just say, oh, we're off to the roof or off to the moon, there's an algo here that's got a target down here at $4. I wouldn't necessarily assume, well, that's certainly not going to happen. We don't know that. There's not like a guy sitting there going, oh shit, it's going to go there, right? It's just software doing that. So we look here and say, okay, well, I can understand why it stops there, right? Because that's always the question. Why? Why here? Why here? Why does it stop there? Why is this not still going up? So this just kind of adds to the, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I've got the subdivision. Like he's given us that subdivision. Okay, well, shit, what are we thinking next? Well, is there any reason to do anything other than the most probable? Why wouldn't you start with, okay, well, where's the most probable location for that retrace into a 4? Well, we can certainly look here as well. Move these around here. This would be the last cell before we go, right? I'm just, Marcus, there's a little more sophistication to it, but just keeping it simple. Okay, well, there's the last drop down before we go higher. So, okay, potentially that's institutional demand. Do you see what they do? Why they do that? Right? They gotta grab some liquidity and then take it up. So that's why it's down before up. So we come down here for a 4. Do we have it? Well, I don't think we have it yet. Looks like maybe starting on the A. Now, there's nothing says that it must. Oh, well, it's shit. I can't buy it till it comes down here. Nothing says it has to do anything, right? Market will do what the market's going to do. Well, could it be the 4? Yeah, could. Looks like look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so you've got a good 5 that's in here to get this done. Now that doesn't look like it's enough, right? You would anticipate a little bit more there. So if this is me and I'm kind of watching this for setup, boy, I sure do like it down here. Like a little bit lower, right? That would just be more typical. You'd have some support down here. Right, it's always just potential support from the demand that's demonstrated here, right? Likely that's institutional. We don't know, right? We make a guesstimate. Okay, so can I get a better looking 3? If I can, then very interested. So do we need to sit down here with a limit order? I wouldn't do it that way. I'd wait. I want to see reaction. I want to see it come down here. So thus, you got to put it in a watch list and put an alert on it. So at the moment, I'd be looking for something down here. So maybe an alert right here on this trend line, or add an alert right there. I'm going to add it because I like this trade. I get some of my best trades are from these live streams. I love these live streams. Okay, so then we said, because I can't look at everything. Shit, nobody can, right? That's the other thing, right? You get ideas that because you can't track everything. Okay, so come down here. You could buy calls. You could put on, if you're familiar with options, there's lots of different ways you can put on something bullish there, or you just buy the underlying. Now, it's a $22 equity. I mean, you can play there, right? The advantage of options, right? You're going to control 100 shares for every option, right? I'm sure you guys know that. But that's what's the trade-off, right? You're buying time, right? So you got to be right about time. You buy the underlying, well, you don't have that time variable, but you potentially could be parking capital there. Do you like it enough to park capital? Let's go back to that hourly. If I were taking this, I'd be looking. I'd be looking here. That's a reasonable target, right? If you just used below the 50, that's a lot, right? So just saying, okay, I'm anticipating we're going to go right here to the golden zone, right, to complete the 5, right? Because we know there's going to be resistance there. I don't want to be, okay, broke the 50, so let's buy it here, right? I want to buy going into these, right? Because I know there's resistance that once already been demonstrated. If I get here, I know there's likely to be a kickback there. I'm never saying ever that it can't get through, right? They break all the time. They have to break or we go sideways forever. But there's a great looking potential here. So how would you want to approach that? If it comes down a little bit lower, I want the first little retrace right there. That's the trade I'd look for right there. Even that, I don't know that you need to give it that much, but that would be max that I would give it right there. So now you got a 3 to 1. Well, maybe not. Yeah, the 3 to 1. Not good enough for you? Okay. What do you need to see, right? 3 to 1. 3 to 1 is a solid base hit. I'll take a 3 to 1 all day. Okay, good one. Great, good suggestion, Dr. John. A good setup, good TA. This is the only question mark, but I don't think it really matters, right? I mean, it's accumulation, right? So either it's 1, 2, right? The larger count doesn't change much. You're accounting for the internal swing structure. I don't think we need to do much more. Very nice one. Nice setup, nice TA, one to get on your radar. Thanks, Dr. John. I've got a couple from Dr. John, so let me go to his next one here. This one is, I guess we can leave this one. It's, what is this one? IOVA. Let's copy that. All right, Dr. John likes the indicators up above, which takes me a little getting used to. Okay, look at this. Interesting. Oh, you gotta give me short-term stuff. Okay, let me just pull out a little bit so I can get perspective. And that's what the Elliott gives us. Is where are we, right? Where am I in a larger count? Okay, very similar, right? Well, okay, is it hard to spot the 5 there? No, not. I mean, that's not hard to spot. Fairly sure that's a diag here, if I'm not mistaken. No, we don't. Well, that's a little bit of a fucker there. I guess you can pull an impulse out of there. 1, oh shit. 1, 2. Oh God, that's not great. You almost would prefer to get the overlap. Well, you don't quite have it, but it's, there's that's an interesting example, right? Does it matter? See, now purists are going to have an issue with this, right? I'm not a purist, right? You've heard me say this many times. This looks to me like an ABC, but to overlap, to call it a diag, we'd have to call this, we'd have to allow for this overlap here. So are you going to not trade it because you didn't get a perfect overlap here? Oh shit! You got a few issues here. It looks to me like, come here. Interesting, right? So we're just a hair longer. That's good. Right, so that's a little bit longer. We're just checking the length, right? So for the purists, right, we wouldn't have an ideal diag, right? So, but it doesn't. It to me. So as far as I'm concerned, okay, this is the swing structure, right? I don't need it to be perfect to say, okay, I got a good low here. Now, not to mention what is very common at these lows, right? What do we see down here, right? Liquidity. Now look what comes off of this, because people are selling it down here. Breakouts, where are we at? 550. People are selling it down here. They think, oh, we're going lower. Just, when in doubt, always look left. Okay, well, what happened the last time I got here? Boy, is this potentially just a liquidity grab? Is that potentially just running the stops that are sitting right there? Why is this so common? Because retail's taught, right? Where are we taught when we first started trading to put our stops? Oh, put it below, a tick or two below the low, right? That way, if you're wrong, you're out. But of course, market makers know this, right? That's what they're doing there. How do we know that that's likely what happened? Look at the impulse that comes off of it. That's the tell. It's not that, oh, we got a little here because they wicked it a little bit here. It's when it flies out of there. Oh, okay, institution stepped in, right? Look at this giant candle. Plus you get this big, often the part of that tell is the fair value gap that's here, right? So you see the big gap here. So this is unmitigated, right? It is, right? So still sitting down here, that's so, this language, right? It's SMC language. It just means that there's a big imbalance here that hasn't been balanced. Unmitigated fair value gap, right? Sounds sexy, but what is it? It's just an imbalance in the market that hasn't been tapped into. That's it, right? But it sounds sexier to say the unmitigated fair value gap's down here. Nothing new. There's nothing new. Right. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, all right. What happened? I got an impulse. Is it hard to spot that? Well, the 2 is a little shaky, but I am on a 4 hour. Nice. Oh, you have to put it down here. ABC into the 4. Okay. Now we get a 5. See, sometimes I feel like, oh God, man, you're not going over the basics of Elliott Wave again, are you? I don't. It's the key is to keep it simple. That's the whole point. I'm gonna I should just be hiding this, Dr. John. Oh, hang on a second. Let's see if I can bring that back. Maybe I can't. Okay, so is there any question that we have an impulse here? None, right? A 5-year-old can get that. Okay, what are we looking for after the impulse? This is Elliott 101, like 5s and 3s. Okay, right now we're looking for here. He just had it up here. I erased it. Now, where is the highest probability location for a wave 2? Between the 50 and the golden zone. What do? I know it seems like, oh, come on, man, these are set up, right? You can't do this week after week after week, asset after asset. You can't do this without this all being set up, right? That you set this up ahead of time. You and Dr. John set this up, right? No. I have literally never looked at this chart before. Do I care? I don't give a flying. I couldn't care less what they do. Couldn't care less. Do I need to know what they do here to look at that as a long? Do I need to know? Coming out of that golden zone. Nope. Couldn't care less. Right now, if I was in this trade, I don't mean to be glib about it. If I was in this trade, I'd if I was like, oh shit, well, that looks kind of interesting. Well, what are these guys all about? I'm gonna look it up. I mean, there's no shortage of places to look at. Fuck, you look it up on TradingView. Right? No shortage of places to look. So what do I have here now? Right, I have a golden corner pocket, meaning that as long as this is the key to it now. As long as this pivot holds, I have 80% odds that I get there. Right. So if you're not in this trade right now, boy, we sure got off to a good start, right? But you wouldn't want to chase it here. What happened here? And again, I don't ever want to come across as though, oh, well, trading is so easy. Look, oh, it's just so easy. Spot this stuff and you're going to make nothing but money. Never what I'm saying, right? Never, right? Okay, I think Dr. John knows we can't have a triangle in the second, right? That's one of those rules we can't break. But that doesn't quite look like it's done, does it? I mean, that's okay, what? So what can we see potentially here, right? So this is, let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. Okay, so let's up before we come down, right? So again, I'm not going into detailed, okay, how do we qualify order blocks? Let's just keep it simple, right? So last swing up before we head down where we bounce in the golden zone. Okay, so swing up, okay, so we're hitting some supply. Now, look, it's almost hard to see. Once we hit this up here, boy, we left quite a gap. Excuse me, we left quite a gap there. So we have imbalance, right? Now this is not closed here yet. We have imbalance in the market. Now, is it coming down to, well, pardon me. We've already come down here. Boy, that's quite a gap. So we've got this big imbalance here in between. What to do with that? Let's go down a little bit, see if we can make any sense out of that. That's the trade-off with, actually, there is a, oh shit. Let me see if I can, we could just use the line chart. There's a no gap candle that's kind of helpful, right, for dealing with the gaps in equities. Look like a 2, well, we're kind of basing here. It looks like, we got a 200 here. It's not what you'd hope for, right? What you want to see this, right? If we can get it, that's what you're looking for. Now, we might have this implied, but we don't have much of a B here. I don't like to go too much below that. We start to get squirrely. Is there anything unmitigated down here? Really? Let's go to the hourly. Really, the only thing here is this big gap here that we're filling this in. Oh, right? Kind of filling all this imbalance in here as we sit here. It's kind of an odd spot. Is there a trade there? Yeah, you could trade this, right? You could trade this right here. Just, we know we have our 80% odds here. Now, I wouldn't do this, right? You're only going to get, well, I might use the lower edge. There's 4 to 1. Now, that's assuming, here, let's get off to the side here. I would not anticipate that we're not going to make that target, right? Why would you? No reason not to. No reason to assume that's going to fail. Now, likely you'll run into some resistance at the swing because there's going to be liquidity there, right? There's going to be stops there. So can we? What we'd be looking for is this, right? We're kind of filling in that gap. Look for some sort of a bounce. I'd be watching this a little bit. It's tradable. What do you got there? 5 to 1. But that's just a little bit. Is there anything down below? Not really. I see he's got a little flag triangle thing down here. There's nothing really screaming at me. Well, if this were going to come down a little bit lower and retest down here, then hard not to like it here, right? You get. If we come down a little bit lower here, using a couple of ticks below the golden zone here, there's a 5 to 1. You can probably tighten that up a little bit. It's just kind of an odd 2. Maybe technical. 50 golden zone. I'd like to see that kick up and then come down a little bit more and then go. Market's not going to give you necessarily what you want, right? It's okay. What's there that I can play with? All I see right now is we're kind of dealing with this imbalance here. So if this starts to go, now remember, if it starts to go, you don't go, oh fuck, I missed it, right? Because if this is 1, 2, and we're going to go in, we're going to go for a 3 up here. Well, we got to do it via an impulse, right? That's kind of a requirement, right? If we're going to play Elliott ball here, he's got a target up here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see those, John. Right? Okay, so he's got a target up here. Right, there's his 1618, right? So he's already done this for me here. Look at me, I'm working too hard. Okay, okay, maybe, I'm not sure. This is a little, you don't feel like, oh, fuck, let's just take it. If you're not sure, see, I wouldn't, if I was going to take it, my size would be light. I'd want to see this, right? And then I would look to add. Now, this is just me, right? I would look to add here. Show it to me, right? Show me, okay, if that's a 1, 2, all right, give me a little 5 here, because if I can get rid, it's like break of structure. It's like just the foundation of market structure. After a break of structure, this would clearly, this would be the major break of structure right here, right? This, if we break here, okay, well then we've got a higher high. Some of this is internal. This could be just, I hate to use fancy language, right? But this is likely inducement, right? So this is, you're trying to bait people. What they're trying to do here is bait you into going long on that little break here, and that would be just enough to grab some liquidity, bring it down, and that's why you want to buy them when they're going down, not when they're going up. So you got to be careful about that, because that's the games that get played here, right? So this is unmitigated down here. So you might get a deeper retrace here, not to talk myself in circles here. But I think this is definitely one for the watch list, right? Because why? Because of this, right? So this is one to be watching, but this is a little funky here. So this is your, okay, as long as we stay above this, very good odds that we're going up to tag and finish this impulse. If we got here, right, we break that structure, right? What's after break of structure, this is the foundation of SMC, is the retrace. That's the foundation of it. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You start to look, you start to come together. Good one. But I think you're kind of a hold right now for the aggressive trader. If you've done a little research on this for whatever reason, you like the story, you're willing to work off of that. You've got, well, shit, man, you could take it right here. Do that. It's 11 to 1. Tight stop. Okay, why not? Why would you not take that trade? Well, I just gave you a few little reasons to hesitate because you don't have a great looking two. But I mean, at the end of the day, right? If you take this and now you're reviewing trades, if this gets stopped out, again, are you going to feel like a moron? What the hell was I thinking? No. Perfectly valid trade. All right, let me keep moving. I don't go too long here on each one of these. I got one more from Dr. John. AYX. No idea what this is. None. Let's see what we got here, Dr. John. How can a beginner follow you? Ashish Chowdhury. Okay, so, well, Ashish, there's a couple things, right? I'll just stop for a second here to give you that answer as I make this copy. Ashish, well, of course, you can, YouTube channel, I don't know, I got 3,500 videos on this YouTube channel. So that's one way, right? You'll learn a lot from that. You can go through some of those. But what I'd suggest you do is you could join our Discord. It's a free Discord, and start with the white belt, which is also free content, which is kind of foundational, right? All these guys you see posting all came through that same process. They took the white belt and they said, all right, there's something here, right? I want to learn a little bit more about this. And then they decided to participate, and they went into the belt system. And some of these guys a lot of these guys are blue and purple belts. As in, we challenge them to. We don't just say, "Oh, okay, take the test," and you're a master trader. Now we make them. We test them. I see if they can do it. That's a lot of what we're doing. Let's get this up here with some of these live streams. There's kind of what kind of progress are they making? Right? Are they getting the counts right? Which is, again, I always feel like I have to highlight this. Of the things that we teach, Elliott is not the primary. It's the third. The third thing on the list. If the Elliott is not there, it's not helpful. And I'd be the first to tell you that it can be elusive. I use this analogy. It's like smoke, right? Well, all I see is like a haze, and then what is it? And then out of it, all of a sudden, we'll scream a 5, or we'll pop a 3. Will pop, and then you're like, okay, there it is. Now I see it. Because there's times where it's just not there, or it's not developed enough to where you can use it to your advantage. And if it's not there, don't trade it. I'm not saying don't trade the asset, but don't force the Elliott. If it's there, it can be very, very powerful, very, very useful. If it's not there, market structure, fib swings, geometry, something other than the Elliott. Because if the Elliott's not there, all it's going to do is it's just going to confuse you, right? So if you need it, don't trade the chart where it's not there. If you can adapt, take the Elliott off until it shows up, because it will show up eventually. I mean, is this obvious here? No, it's not. What is obvious here? I wouldn't even take the time to count that. I don't care what it is. What do I see? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Ooh, double top, lower high. Right. So what happened up here? Does anybody need help understanding what happened here? This is because it would be tempting to think, oh shit, right? We got break of structure here, right? Oh shit, get off there. Oh, we got a big old, oh, what do I got here? Big old break of structure here. No, we don't, right? We don't close above. So what happened up here? Liquidity. Right? They're running the stops, grabbing all that liquidity, and the trend continues. Oh, it looks like that might be some of these. Looks like they're in just so often I'll do this. It doesn't have any bearing over here, right? As the next decision. But what I want to see is how technical is it here, right? Is the algo dominating here? Well, the algo dominates everywhere, right? So, okay, so the first thing I pull up. Right, and again, I don't even know what this company does. I don't care. First thing I see. Second thing I see. This is going to be too far, right? It broke here, back here, right? Because remember what the algo will do. Here, let me show you this, because this is important you get this. Because people misunderstand this here. Not to, God, these guys are beating this into their heads. If it breaks here, which it does, right? So here's the last dominant, right? It breaks, right? It's not that the algo goes long here. That's not what happens, right? They don't, as I say this all the time, they don't care, right? Because they'll just get on the next one. But what the algo will do, it'll go back a pivot. Now, is it there? No, it'll go back a pivot. Where's our target? Right. So now, and see, we don't know what they're doing. Right. We're trying to deduce what they're doing. Right. So it leaves this nice footprint. So I come over here and I go, there it is. So they're just using a prior pivot since these were too high. They broke on this side. But that's what the algo will do. It'll just keep going back until it's all the way to the absolute high. And when you break that, then you have no resistance, right? But it doesn't take long. Right? See, just so you understand, right? If we come up here and we break this, it's not like, oh shit, I can just buy. No, you got to wait, right? Because it'll show up again on the retrace. All right, let me get back here where we left off. Let's get down in here. All right, so we can see what happened here. All right, can we talk ourselves into some Elliott here? Is it helpful? Well, that sure looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Barely, right? Looks like this is the higher high. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. What are you thinking there, John? So Dr. John's thinking that this is done. Well, how are we going to get done there, John? I don't think we can call that. I don't think we can look. Oh, fuck, I guess. Hang on. What are we on, a 2 hour? Let me go to I think you gave me a 30. Maybe you got it on a 30. See, this is, that's the B. Oh, if anything, I'd put it here. Maybe not. So right off the bat, right? So if it's not giving me, okay, right, again, as I say this all the time, there is so much to trade. Why? If you're struggling, you can't, like, oh, fuck, I don't know. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if I can't figure this out, I'm not trading it. But I'd probably be inclined to think this is more like a 5 here than a 3, Dr. John. If this is 1, 2, maybe you're thinking, fuck, what are you thinking, flat? You'd have to do this as an ABC. It's 3. Maybe that's what you're thinking. ABC, but then when we do you'd want to do it as a WXY. So if this is a flat, which it could be, you'd have to do ABC. So let's do it that way. A just B, and do it this way. I always like those in green. Flat. Very, very, very skinny X, right? So you're kind of accommodating the market here, right? The Elliott is not great here, so I'm almost inclined to say don't need it here. It's not helping me here. Could it be a WXY? Well, that's probably how I'd label it. Okay, so now we've got a good low here. Come back here. Right, this is an all-time low, is it not? Oh, no, it's not. Let's go back to a daily. Where are we on the horizon here? Well, that's so much. We got to go into log. Wow. Alteryx. What is this? I have no idea what this is. Okay, so we got to go. Well, let's just look here. This is quite a bull run they had. Yeah, they got a little sloppy down here. Looks like that's broken. And we have close below, so that is a clear break. Right, no question we broke there. Okay, so we got to wait for the next one. Okay, this is good work here. He's got this nailed. Okay, so we get a pivot down here. Now we don't know. Nobody knows. Don't listen to anyone who tells you. Well, clearly we know that that's the low. Nobody knows. Everybody knows after the fact. Okay, so but this is very, very typical of a market trying to turn around, right? So because that's why you see so much overlap at the beginning and the ending of a trend, because bears are still fighting to get this fucker down, right? So that's why all the overlap in the diags, because they're trying to turn the big ship around. This thing has been in free fall. Now we're going to turn that around in a textbook impulse. Well, it's not like it doesn't happen, but boy, that's a big lift, right? So thus all the overlap here. I'm going to bring that down a bit. Okay, so in a diag, if this is going to hold, well, that would be good news, right? If we get the fifth. Now we don't. Do we have it? Shit, we don't. Right, not really. Oops. We don't really. well, note that he's already marked this off, right? Because he's studied, he's learned this, right? So where's the high probability location for the third? 175, 1618, right? That's right what we do. Now, it looks like we've got some sort of a wonky 4 going in. We need that, right? So what's the objective here, right? This is hard to miss, right? We got to fill this gap, right? Market does not like to leave a gap. So we made an effort and we ran, well, look, you can see what they did here, right? So same thing that happens, right? What are they doing there? Right? It's not like there's a, oh God, what did, Wyckoff has a name for the, fuck, no, I'm going to space on it. I want to say the composite man, right? There's always this idea that there's some evil force there that's, you know, fucking your trade up. I think he calls it the composite man. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Well, oh, John, I'm going to pull this off. Excuse me, just for a sec. Okay, for a diag here, well, there's not much question that we've got to look at this as a diag with that big 3 in the middle, all right? So no question we're playing for a diag, but it's not. Ugh, that's not great. That's not the finish you'd want. So Jesus, A, B, C. You're hoping that that's what you've got here. Oh, I'd throw a little. Oh shit, you could probably just use a channel, something like this on it. Thought I had a channel. I guess I didn't. Come here, channel. Oh, I know what's up. I've got you. Whenever I copy, I get your guys' stuff. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, where's the 4? The ideal space for the 4. He may have this marked off. Again, it's not a requirement. It's just the highest probability location for it. If that's the 3, we're looking for the 4, ideally, at the 50 from the start of the 1. So come down here. Oops, I shouldn't move that until I understand what he's doing there. What are you doing there? Let's come down a little bit. Let's go to the 4. What is it you're thinking there? I'm not sure. Let's do the 3. Let's go to just the 4. Now we don't have to come to the 50. Maybe that's what he's thinking. This would be ideal, right? So if we can come up, so boy, that's sharp and abrupt. This is meandering. What can we look at here? And well, here I'll just use this. Same kind of idea. Right, we're not, it's classic 4. We're not progressing the trend sideways. Why do we stop here? I don't even need to put the golden zone on. Why do we stop here? 50s. Simple as that, right? The algo is fire, right? It's not like it's golden zone every time, right? The 50 is just as valid, right? We just prefer the golden zone because the risk is lower, right? Because you're entering closer to your stop. It's a good one. One for the list, right? So now if it's me, I would wait. I'd let that complete that 5 because this got a little wonky here. I'd let it complete that 5. If it completes the 5, then what do I know? I know I have a good candidate for a good low down here, right? Because I've come off of this low with a 5. Right? The idea is the Elliott shouldn't complicate. It should clarify. Now, when the Elliott's confusing, it's not doing that. But if I come out of here and I go, oh, well, there's a fucking leading diag right there, right? Okay, so I got a good candidate. WXY, I got a good low. Maybe I got to start. Well, what? Okay, think of it this way. If I break this high, right, I'd have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Starting to show market structure that's bullish. Okay, let's get you off of there. If I get that, right, after a break of structure, what am I anticipating? Retrace. If it's a 5, what am I anticipating? Retrace. Where's the likely candidate, right, if I get it up here, for a wave 2? It's not, like, we don't want to make this, 2 things. I don't want it to come across as like, oh, well, fuck, this is so easy, right? Again, this is the hardest easy money you'll ever make. But it doesn't need to be so complicated that you can't figure it out. Often what I'm trying to do, always, how can I simplify this? Because you can, you could go down to a 2-minute chart. You'll have count after count. It's kind of a waste of time. Plus, I would tell you, unless you're day trading, the money is made out here on these higher time frames, but it requires patience, which most people don't have. They won't sit for 6 months in a trade. 6 months? Shit, 6 days is a challenge for many. Many people. Oh fuck, 6 minutes is what they want. Right now, I want it, and I want it now. That's common thinking in the markets, right? Oh shit, well, this is where I'm coming for my money. Oh shit, look at how easy this is. 5s and 3s, how easy? No, this is not the place to come when you need money. This is the place to come when you have some money and you want to look at working with it to see if you can increase it. Right, very easy to give it away, right? Because what do most people do? They take way too much risk. It's just common problems that you see over and over. Wouldn't matter if it's me telling you that, right? There'd be a gazillion successful traders tell you the same thing. Most people, they're impatient. They won't wait. They won't wait for the setup. They fall to FOMO. They trade too big. The idea of 1% risk. What are you fucking kidding me? 1%? Shit, it might take me 5 years to double my account. No shit, really? That's not going to work out for you? Oh, no, I need it doubled next month. Not likely to happen. All right, thanks for all of those, Dr. John. Good setup here. Wait for this one, but a good one to be watching for. Let it come down. Take a trade. Right? Appropriate risk. Okay, CN Salazar. What have I got down here? Okay, CN Salazar. Guys, give me a second. I close my door here. It gets hot in here. Give me 1 second here, because if I got to turn me off because this fucking webcam I have will follow me. I got to turn my AC up. So hang on. I'll be right back. Is it gonna work? There we go. Oh shit! See, it followed me. All right. Well, you guys don't need to see me. I got to reset that camera. It does that, right? It follows me. I don't know why I thought, oh, well, this thing comes with AI, but I guess that's for if you're walking around. All right. You don't need to see me. Okay. Let's get that off of there. Okay. Okay. What's next? CN Salazar. FORR. What is FORR? Okay. This is it coming through? Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's copy, save. Forrester Research. All right. This guy's pretty well established. Great reputation. Let's back up a little bit. Oh, where are we here, Doc? This is CN Salazar. Okay, CN has become a very, very skilled technician. And a great member, right? Always participates, always comes through whenever I ask these guys for content. He's always right at the top of the list, right? Just a great member, and has become a very good trader. All right, what are we thinking here, CN? This is... this has been mitigated, right? So this is no longer really in play, right? This has been tapped so many times. Oh, so what do we do? What we do have down here is interesting, right? That this, it really just came and grabbed that low. What do we have here? Tweezers, all right? Daddy long legs, right? Call them what you will. Okay, so we've gone too deep here. So this really has no value because we've broken it, CN. So we got a beautiful looking double bottom here. I'm actually inclined to go. Let's go to a 3-day. Let's get a little more perspective. God, this thing is a beast. All right, so now we've got interesting. Okay, now we get a little perspective here. So I mean I can't resist doing it, right? This wouldn't have any bearing here since we've broken. So we got to go here. Where's one that we have not broken? Maybe, right? Could be that's a win log, yeah. What's our range here? 4 times the range. Yeah, we're definitely there. So I don't know that I would rely on that as necessarily. It is interesting. So we've had, you can see the very clear, right? So is the Elliott, right? Is there clear Elliott here? Definitely not. All right, we can see the clear break of structure here. What's after a break of structure? Retrace. Well, interestingly, the retrace is valid right up to that pivot low. I don't think we broke it. I got that right on, you own it. Amazingly, we didn't. So this would still be your range here, amazingly. Okay, let's go in there and see what he's doing. So let's go to a 4 hour. We have our range here. We're coming back up the other direction, so he's bullish. So okay, so we're waiting to get in here. So okay, I see what he's doing. All right, so here's the first one. He's just acknowledging, right? As you often will see me do the same thing. Okay, are we technical, right? How are we doing here relative to prior swings, right? Is the algo present, right? Well, it's always present, but look, there's a good start to it. Okay, so now if this is 1, 2, or A, B, if this is an A, well, an A is going to be, well, it could be a 3 or a 5, but 1, 2, some sort of looks like you entered with a diag right there. So you got a candidate for an A. So it looks like he wants to trade the B into the C. Right, well, that's what he's doing. So let's just so we can see a little bit better. Curious why you like this, Ian. Okay, so do we have a 5 there? Boy, look at this. Just so that's a good example here of they're trying to turn this around. So could that be, that looks like, well, so you'd have to trade this as a diag. Maybe not. Let's see here. Let's do it this way. So you could do come here. Sometimes trading view is a little touchy. Okay, so 1, A, expand the B, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, can you get an ending diag out of that? Let's go with it. So rather than pick it apart. Maybe. Can't say it's beautiful. Oh, go to white here. Okay, so he gave me, let's go out a little bit. Well, I know he knows this, right? So one thought is, okay, if that's done as an A, right, a B, we'd be looking for a little bit lower. Looks like he already likes it, if I'm deducing from what he's given us here. So he's trading the B into the C, right? So I think he is a purple belt, right? So this is a trade, right? He knows, right? Okay, if I'm going to trade the B into the C, I'd be looking for, well, in this case, if we're not going to come from a 50 or golden zone, you're not looking necessarily for the contemporary measured move. You're looking for measured move classic, right? Which would be A to B equals C to D. Right, the contemporary measured move was discovered. My hypothesis, right? I don't know this, but just from a lot of deduction, is that when we weren't making the 100, right? We were coming up short. Anyway, that would be your A to B equals B to C. That would be a good target. So he's got a 7 to 9. It's now. Same question, right? If you take this trade, right? If you were to take this trade and you get stopped out, are you beating yourself up? I don't think so, right? Because you have good money management here. What's your risk, right? Now, I wouldn't. So on such a shallow B, I don't know that I'd load the boat there with big size. But he does have a 3. There's a 3 in there. It's hard to miss, right? There's the B. It's not a great looking C, right? So. It's doable. Shit, I go down here a little bit further. Now, It gets very squirrely in Elliott, particularly something here doesn't look like we have great liquidity here. Yeah, I guess you can go fucked. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess you can do it. Looks like you can do it. So you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there for the B. So you can go. Looks like that may be a measured move as well. And he may have already done all of this. Right. Tweezer tops at the 50. We don't make target. Now we're coming back the other way, and we've broken the golden zone from this side, right? So it's bull's ball, right? When they break here, it's their ball. Okay, so that's off. So I see what he's doing. Sometimes it takes me a minute to understand why they're in this trade, why they're in a trade. So you got your A wave here. A, B, C. That's a shaky start. You going 1, 2. You got a good 3. Might be a little ambitious there, but well, let's see. Keep in mind, if we're going up here for the C, we're not likely to do it. You know, since we have this has got to be the third of it, right? So this would likely be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 1 of the C, because we'd be looking for a 3, 4, 5, right? So this could be your 1 of the C, right? Because we're looking, right? It's shallow, but we're looking for a zigzag. 5, 3, 5. Right? It's not complicated. It's just unusual. This is just unusually shallow, but maybe that's just a sign of, oh shit, what do we got here? Just strength of the market, right? Just combining a little market structure with some Elliott, right? That down a degree, the 3, 4 potentially, right? That would be more common in impulse, but since we can use this as an area, right? The last down before this little push higher, you got potentially a demand zone here, kind of a momentum order block. Maybe, right? You didn't come off of it with what you'd be. The better order block is always one that comes out here very impulsively. Okay, you got a good start, but then that's not the price action you're looking for. You want to see something like this, right? So we look up here. Is there an order block up here? Definitely, right? And look how that ties in with his target, because look what came off of it, right? So that's likely institutional money coming. Oh shit! Here I'm looking at the camera. It's likely institutional money coming in because of the speed of the drop. We don't know, right? It's a treasure hunt. That's what we're doing, right? Solve the puzzle, find the treasure. That's literally what trading is, right? But where do most people fuck it up, right? This is the most common thing. They do this. Whether they're doing that specifically or not as much, it's just that they take too much risk, right? Because they're impatient, right? Back to what we started before. No one wants to wait 6 months for a trade. That's hard to do. It's very hard to do. I want it in 6 minutes. Okay, that's a good one, CN. Thanks for that. I'd be one to track. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. I'm curious to see if that plays for you. I mean, you could just put an alert down here. Let's just do it here. Sometimes I can just do this, and some alert will go off in like 2 weeks from now. I'm like, oh shit. Oh well, I guess there was a reason for it. Okay. Boy, we're making pretty. What am I doing on time here? Shit, pretty good time. Well, I think I will have some. Not a perp. Working on perp. Oh, CNC. You're not a perp? Shit. Well, you got the chops for it. So, well, that's why he's trading the C here, right? Because we only let them trade threes and Cs on their way to purple, right? So they got to do that 50 times successfully, right? So, which is, by the way, not easy, right? These belts are not easy to pass, right? That's the point, right? It's not to just give you oh, look at the ribbon. Everyone gets a ribbon. No, we're going to make you got to do 50 trades of threes and Cs only to earn that belt. But I promise you, if you do that, boy, is your trading success going to improve. Okay, I'm on to Wonka. Wonka, I liked your trade so much, I kept it up. Oh, shit, now I got to find it. Here it is. I kept it, right? So I liked your work. Now I added a little market structure here. Oh, Wonka, this was such good work, right? Particularly this finish here with the triangle. It's very sexy, right? This good Elliott skills here. And oh shit, I've got. Well, it doesn't matter, right? So what do we look here? Right? It's just higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher. Now look also after each one of these breaks of structure, retrace, right? It's Day follows night. Okay, so beautiful looking channel comes down here. We tap into a demand zone. Now look at so this is what I'm talking about. We come down hard and then we pop hard, right? So signs of whale, banks, institutions, financial BIFs, whatever you want to call them. All these fair value gaps here, right, are getting filled in now. There's all this imbalance. Well, let's zoom in there. All right, so we looked at this. It was last week. This was from last week's live stream, which I'm so glad that to have some follow-up on this. Oh, shit, here. Let me get some of this out of there. All right, just so some of you guys don't know that. Okay, so what do we get here, right? So after this, right, and again, boy, I love it when it just, you guys set me up like this. Not that this was planned. After this waterfall, oh, shit, here I am looking at the camera again. Waterfall. Okay, well now, boy, we got to turn this bitch around, right? That takes a lot of muscle, right? And a lot of money. Let me be more specific. It takes money to turn that around. Well, the bears are still fighting here, right? They want this. One, two, all right, you can do it. It's a little shaky on the one. ABC, ABC. You can look here. So this is likely. You've got a good candidate here for liquidity or inducement or whatever you want to call it, right? So we've got that's just the kind of thing that again, right, big dogs, right? So come down here, right? So where are the stops? Where are the bulls most likely, right, to have their stops? Particularly if it's retail, right? Where are they going to put their stops? Well, the last swing low, right? That's how I was taught in Trading 101. Nope, right? What's likely to happen there? I mean, boy, you can just see it ready to happen, right? Stop. There's stops there. ABC into the one, right? So we get our diag. Remember what we're looking for in a diag? The start of the one through the pivot of the three. We're looking for it at the 50. Front run on the target. Geez, now I'm in the habit of looking at the camera here. Front run on the target could be this. I'm not sure what he's pulling there. What is that? Oh, this is just prior pivot lows here. I don't know what he's got. Something, shit, I can't remember if he did that or I did that. But you can see what happened there. Same kind of thing, right? Grab the liquidity. How do we know that that's what happened? Look what comes off of that. Look what, right? That every day, millions of times this is happening. Right, grab it, equal lows, liquidity, right? Stops are right there. Up they go. Here we come back down. Oh, we hit here. You got imbalance over here. Oh shit, I went too far there. I was just trying to open this up a little bit. It looks like we got through it. Remember, a little bit, right? So, if you think, again, I'm simplifying here. Okay, so why would I draw there? Look at the imbalance here, right? So this gets filled here. Now remember, a demand zone, order block, right? It's a zone. It's so to have a little wick action go through it, it's not like, oh well, shit, well that certainly wasn't the demand. Not the case, right? It's a zone, right? So here, that's a knife edge there. So clearly we went through here, but look at the bounce back. So good candidate here, which is a lot of jibber jab here to get us here. Now this is a nice touch, right? So this is really good work. So he's identifying what each of the components of the correction are. So we have here we have a 3, 3, 5, which makes a flat, right? So he's already done this he's doing this for himself, for us, and for you as well. So you can say, oh, there it is. Okay, there's the flat, right? So in review of your trades, like you understand, oh, why was I thinking, oh yeah, okay, so here's the correction. I had a flat followed by a zigzag. Where's the zigzag? Here's the zigzag. A, B, right? A little fancy in there with a WXY, right? That takes Elliott's skill. A, B, C. All right, I got a zigzag. So I got a flat. It's a wacky too, right? I mean, it is, right? So this makes sense that particularly a student would go through this and go, because when you first brought that up, when you first brought it up, would your thinking be 1, 2? I'm looking at the camera again. Probably not. That wouldn't be your first thought. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, obviously. What? Of course, that's the 1, 2. No, probably not. It took a little time to go, okay, 1, 2. Oh, wait a second. Now that can't. Oh, it can't. Could this be 1? Could this be the 2? Well, it could have been. I think that may be why that was there. Right? It might have been 1. Oh, that's a weird B, but okay, there's the 2, right? It would be shallow for the 2. And again, this is just so much of what I'm doing here is just showing you the process. Okay. Oh, well, could that be a 2 at the 34? Yeah, definitely could be. Or 38, excuse me, 23, 38. Okay, we got those equal lows down here. Looks like liquidity grab. Oh, there it is. Okay, 1, 2. We're going for the 3. No. Not anymore. Okay, well, does that mean my whole trading premise here that I've got an impulse and I'm working through would be a very complex correction, no doubt about it. Okay, does it still fly? Well, on one hand, now you look here and you say, oh shit, golden zone. No. The algo doesn't care about the Elliott count, right? So the clear break here on the algo, but note, wick only, right? Retest and we hold. It's a judgment call right here, right? This is such a waterfall to have it retest and hold. I think you can go back to Bull's Ball, right? And then you add in that we just went just as you would look for in a diag 1 through 3, retrace to the 50, front run on the target, most likely. So you got a good candidate here. So this is one to be watching. That's probably why I'm taking you through all of this. Okay, I've got a candidate, nothing more for a 1. Now you got to wait for the 2. It's annoying, right? People go, well, fuck, why can't I just buy it now? Well, I'm not saying don't. You could. I'm just saying if you were going to be, hang on. Excuse me. If you were going to be deliberate about applying your technical skills, you wouldn't. We've seen enough examples here where you don't, well, here, let's break it down this way. Let's just simplify it. Okay. If this is our range here, okay, right? I know you guys know where I'm going here, right? So here's discount, and up above that is the premium, right? Why do we want to buy, right? Another discipline that very few people, the impatience, they can't handle it, Oh, no, here shit. I was trying to be fancy, and I fucked it up. There we go. Okay. So just think about this for a second. If you limit yourself to just buying in the discount and only selling in the premium, if you review your last 20 trades, I want you to, most people won't, but I would encourage you to consider it. If you just looked at all your losers, oh shit, look at all your trades, but particularly your losers. Were you buying or were you entering the market in premium or discount? Now, people say, oh fuck, man, what if it goes here and then goes, right? Then I would have missed it. Well, yeah, you would have. Right? This is very possible here, right? Just grab the liquidity here. Oh shit, right? It would be very possible. There's probably an order block in there. So you got to grab the liquidity here and go. You say, oh hey man, it didn't make the discount. Oh shit, well, so that's stupid. I missed that trade. Well, yeah, you're going to miss this one. But over time, if you do that, because where do you want to enter this? You want to enter it right here or right here. Get this one out of here. Right? Why? Why do I say that? Well, shit, what if it bounces here? I'm going to miss the whole thing. Because your risk reward is going to be so much better here. And over time, that's going to work for you, not against you. Yes, you're going to miss some trades. But if we come out of here, if this is 1 and this is the 2, now I don't have this. If this is 1 and this is the 2, and we get a 3 into the 2 here, we're anticipating a 5, right? I mean, there has to be some anticipatory brain power applied here. Okay, we come down here, we come into the perfect zone for it. Oh, okay, shit, fuck, look at that. Okay, well, we're not likely, anything's possible. We're not likely to go in a straight line. Not likely. What are we likely to do, right? Does the market, well, shit, look at that. I say that, and then look at this. I mean, is it possible? Yes, possible. Clearly, it's possible. You fall in, this is a free fall. But more likely, there's going to be swing structure along the way. Oh, higher high, higher low, higher high. Oh, shit, look at this. I got a higher low. Oh, my God, I got a higher high. What does that look like? Right, so there's market structure. Sure looks like Elliott Wave to me. It's just relabeled, repackaged, right? It's nothing new. But it does lend itself well. There's nuance to it that lends itself well to the Elliott trader or the fib swing trader or the geometry trader, right? Now, so what's the next thing, right? So this shouldn't be, you should have already thought, well, clearly the next thing he's going to do is that, right? Wouldn't that be the next thing you do? We want to use the geometry. It's three components, right? There's an Elliott count if it's there. Then there's the fib relationships, and there's the geometry, right? It's a power trio. You want to use all of them, because the market, the algos, will use all of them. Right, so now we're just kind of waiting for this and hoping that this comes, right? You can, right? There's a little hopium in here. You hope that you get some sort of a 3, because then I can take this with some confidence. I guess I fucked that up. Does that, hopefully that makes sense, right? So, okay, I got nothing more than a candidate. I got nothing more than a candidate for a 1. Now, can I get a 2? If I get a 2, can I put something together here with risk reward that's friendly? Oh, fuck here. All right, let's just do one. Right? Let's, shit, we don't know. We don't have it. We'll use that low for some, I can't remember why, but let's just use that. Okay, you got a problem with 9 1/4 to 1? That's not good enough? I mean, MATIC, right? I don't even, what we got, 20-some thousand cryptos, right? If you take the look at the top 20, right? Likely they'll survive, or those that don't will get reshaped, rewritten, will morph into something else, right? The top 20, right? Likely to stick around. I'll be surprised if MATIC wasn't one of them. So for a strong candidate like this, giving us this nice little 5, now be patient here. Wait for the 3. Look, this liquidity grab is just fucking textbook, right? You can't ask for better, right? Go grab those stops, then able to go. Okay, so I got 2 charts here. So I'm looking, he's giving me, what did you give me here? Oh, shit. Oh, I know it. See, I took mine. Okay, since you had already given it to me. Okay, so this is also from Wonka. Again, another incredibly improved trader. I wish I could bring up some of his old charts, but man, has he gotten good. Right, because he's active, right? That's I always tell members, right? He's active, right? So he works with the other senseis, right? I mean, he works with them much more than he works with me, because they're in there all the time, and I can see their influence in his work. Right? He's made an investment. He's going to be damn sure he gets his money's worth, and I can tell you he is, right? Because I can see the skill. Okay. Oh shit, it's been a while since I looked at this one. APT, fuck, Aptos, what is it? Yeah, Aptos. Fuck, this is, man, Wonka's getting mighty good. Okay, 1, 2, 3 with tiny, oh, this is interesting, right? Tiny little 5, but you're kind of stuck with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, oh God. Well, does it matter, right? So I look at this and I go, okay, is there a question about whether that's impulsive? Do we need to debate that? I don't think so. But look, boom, 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 and where do we end? Can't make this stuff up. Well, here's first target, right? Interesting, we didn't get there. Then we got it. Get it here? Yeah, there's a golden corner. Right, same as it always is, right? As long as the pivot holds here, right? Now this is a little creative placement here. I just went down to, okay, where's a golden, right? So I'm just using the secondary pivot here, right? Because I know the algo would do the same thing. All right, we break here, right? We come back, there it is. Now, how many of you, right? That's April of this year. 2 months you're sitting in that trade with a very clear target. Right, when it did this, right? Are you getting out? Right, well, would it have made sense to get there? I gotta say, right? That oh, whoops! What did I just do? Okay, I just bumped this thing a little bit. Maybe that won't matter for you guys. You could have made a pretty strong case here that we were done. Oh shit, could we have? No, I take that back, because we have an ABC, so we're doing it through a WXY. So actually, oh, Jesus, Wonka, this is really good. Okay, so do you see why? Because you might look at that and think, oh, okay, well, A, B, oh, there's the 5 to finish, and off we go. But we didn't do it that way. The market didn't unfold that way. So here, this is a textbook. Like, God, I can't. We do not orchestrate these. This is a great example where the Elliott is going to keep you on the right side of the market here, because the fact that we do this, remember in a combo, a WXY, it's a series of threes. Well, here's a clear 5, clear 3, clear 5, right? So we have a zigzag to start it. Okay, so double, pardon me. He's got it in here. Double zigzag, right? Look, nice touches, Wonka, right? Very nice touches, right? So he's doing it again for us as well as himself. Okay, A, B, C. W, oh, he's doing it because we have a triangle here. W, X, Y into the X. Right, now this is, you don't get this from Elliott 101, right? He's been working on this. This takes time to get to one, go, oh, wait a minute. How am I going to, how do I don't know. Right, so this takes time to figure out, oh, wait a minute, I can do it through a series of threes, and I can do a W, X, Y, because I can finish an X with a Y, in a three like this. So W, X, Y, golden zone, right, which leads to a golden corner. This is such good TA. Then it leads to, okay, wait a minute, I got a 5. Well, if this is a W, X, Y, I cannot be done. Well, let me rephrase that. It's unlikely that I'm done here because I've only got one of the 3 legs. If this is going to play as a WXY, which there would be no reason to think otherwise right here, I know I can't be done here because I need the B and the C to be done. Assuming it's going to continue to stay in this double zigzag, which it does to the tick. A third target, right? So this is the negative 100, right? So the length of this swing here, we get to 100, goes just far enough. And what are we hitting here? A little order block, a little demand zone. Shit, did he draw that or did I draw that? He did. Because I don't use candles like this, right? So it's an imbalance, right, is what he's got. He's, oh, fuck, it's locked, that's right. It's just an imbalance, right? So, boom, there's the reaction. Now we're struggling. Now we're on the other side of it. Okay, so this, shit, I'm literally sitting here marveled at how good his work has become. All right, so we get a good, so what does that mean, right? It doesn't mean that, oh, well, the market cannot possibly go down from here because we've tagged the median line. That's never what that means. But that means I have a candidate here. I've got a good technical candidate here for the start of a new trend. Nothing more, right? It's candidate, right? This could easily roll over and we're back down here easily. There are no absolutes in the market, right? There's no like, well, that'll never happen, right? So as soon as you say that'll never happen, guaranteed it'll happen. Okay, so what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get a leading diag, right? Again, it's a lot of chop overlap, right? After this, right, you can imagine, cool, shit, that's going to take some work, right? Some muscle, some money to turn that around. What do? We come right back into that imbalance zone. And it would appear you might be running into an algo here, right? No, you're to and through, right? So that's secondary, shit. I would only use this if I could identify that they used it. Otherwise, you're curve fitting. Did they use it? Possibly. Hard to, it's not clean enough to say, oh, definitely. Maybe. Doesn't matter, right? Okay, so one, we can see, well, we've got this resistance. Oh, here, I think he locked that, so I'm going to pull that over a little bit. Okay, so we can apply the same idea here, right? Up before, right? Just trying to keep it simple. The last swing up, right? Before we head down. So possibly we turn this into a flip zone, but right now that's the resistance, right? So what happens? All right, it's just the same thing over and over. It's funny because for the first half of my trading career, I was all open, high, low, close, and just made the switch to candles. So, God damn it. There we go. Right. So this is a, oh shit, come here. What I'm trying to do. That's a break of structure, right? So higher high, higher low, higher high, right? This is internal swing structure here, retrace. Now that's a little bit all of a sudden like, hey, wait a second. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, right out of the Smart money, market structure playbook. What happens after a break of structure? Retrace. Right? So can we make this fly, right? We put our Elliott hats on, right? Does this fly? Okay, if this is the one. Now, I do it this way first to demonstrate what, and also look here. Remember, algo doesn't care about your Elliott count, right? It's just going to go dominant to dominant. Swing low to swing high, right? Does not care that that's an expanded B. Are we done there? Well, a 4 hour, we could be. Interesting, right? So that we would have a diag here, a leading diag to start, and an ending diag here with this contraction here. So think of it. Some people, right, that don't apply Elliott would just say wedge, right? Wedge, right? Al Brooks made the wedge really famous, right? It's a great setup, right? We contract, wedge, right? Okay, so could we be done? Well, all right, let's just look here. Well, it's a little shallow, right? You'd prefer it down here. Well, what do we got down here? Equal lows, right? So that's liquidity, right? It's already been tapped. But potentially, if we were going to come down lower, you'd anticipate those would get swept. Okay, now we've got a good candidate here for this to be playing some Elliott here. A little sloppy. It's not like oh shit, we can't take it if we don't hit golden zone. Well, it looks like that's wicks only actually. So how could we label this? Let's go to 30. Really prefer to not go much below that. Okay, so we've got let's see here. Oh, I know why, because his grays are up and whites are down. That's why it's throwing me a little bit. Okay, so could make a case here, right? Just missed it. All right, if we're going to take the whole swing down, which is not out of bounds, so the whole bit here from this pivot here as we break this, that's the whole swing down. Use the zone, tapped once, tapped twice. Maybe, right? It could be just a little bit of curve fitting. You can certainly use that here on a 30-minute. Can we make this fly? Well, let's see how we came this way. Well, one thought here is A, B, we need to come down a little bit further. Oh, what am I doing here? Let's go to yellow here just for consistency. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. A, B, you'd have to do that as your, since we, all right, what happened up here, right? No closes above, right? So that's just liquidity, right? It's just grab. Oh, wrong one. Jesus, come here. Probably make a case here, right? So this has been mitigated, right? So that's likely what's happening here. Here's the supply, up, down we go. This I might even refine this down to just the wick, since up here it's been tapped. If we take the whole thing, you're tapping it. If we take it here, we'll just miss. I guess you can leave it there for now. Okay, so we know we've had a break of the golden zone, so we don't have an algo here, and it looks like if that's going to finish, well, 1, 2, maybe. We're looking for a little more down here, something like that to give us that C. We don't want the C to be that low. If this is going to hold as a 1. Well, we don't have a lot of room down there, which is not necessarily bad news. Let's get oh shit, let's get these on. All right, so 707, 786, you got this down here. Okay, so let's label it up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we got a candidate. You're kind of stuck. Can we get this? Well, we really don't want a WXY because, well, A, B, C, it needs too much to finish, right? So you'd rather this play as an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C into the B. You'd rather it played that way because we're running out of room down here before we're going to overlap, right? Before you're going to overlap, right? The idea, the possibility that this is a 1. It's 1, 2, right? We can go deep, but we can't go past the pivot, right? So that we can say with certainty, right? So if this is a candidate for the 1, okay. Yeah, and these would be for, you know, metaphorically penciled in, right? Right now, that's how I would label that. Well, let's see. The other possibility here is that we've got the correction in here. Let's just this is my last one. No, I got one more here. How am I doing on time? Okay, we got 20 minutes. The other possibility here is that we've got it here. Let's rethink this on the fly. Because fuck yeah, I think we can do it. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's bring you down a touch. You got to go B here, right? Since we break it, it's doable, right? This could fly, all right? So we go A, B. We need the C down here, but we can't break this 1. If it's 1, 2, ooh, it's getting a little skinny. That sure looks like 4. I'm on a 30, all right? You don't have a lot of room there. Okay, well, so this would be one to watch, right? So if it breaks, maybe you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We got to stay above that pivot, right? That remains to be seen if it can do that. If that breaks, then you're just in anticipation of what happens down here. Do we break down here? Then you'd be back to thinking that this is all part of a larger correction. A, doesn't matter here, B, C, something like this. If we hold here, now we're back in bull mode. But, right, you'd need to see, that would be a little, I mean, could you take it, right? Because the risk would be so small. Yeah, you could, but ideally you'd get that, right? So you're taking it off of the idea that you'd have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's what you'd be looking for. It's dicey, right? Because it looks like, whoa, can we get out of there without that being done? Let's just for fun. Let's go to the 5th. 1, 2. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be leading. That wouldn't work. So it looks like it needs one more. Tricky one. That's one I would watch. Wonka. I mean, your TA is great, but I would be hesitant on that one until I see a little bit more. Let's break some of this, right? Again, don't feel like, oh shit, if I didn't get it at the absolute lows, oh well, fuck, I missed the whole thing. No. Let a 5 show. It will come, right? And that will follow, right? And then maybe look here, so you get certainty. Where's my pivot? Is this it? Is this the 2? If we're gonna break that, is this it? Right? That's what I'd be waiting for before I really jumped on this, because you could make the case here that really what we're doing here is a whole lot of consolidation with one little pop down here that broke it. Rangy. I want to see it get out of that. Maybe pop up here, right? This could be just stop runs, and then you got all of this over here, right? All that we looked at a minute ago, right? Where, okay, well, clearly this got rejected. Now we're in it, right? And this is the good sign, right? We broke these lows, and then boom, big impulse comes. Well, I mean, relative to a 15-minute. Okay, can we hold here, right? Because this low has to hold now. If it does, well, man, are you buying as close to the low as possible? Yeah, you are, right? Is that the safer place to do it? Well, the risk is lower, but the odds are lower as well, because you can't really be definitive. Do we have the low? Do we have the low? Right? So if it's me, because I'm not worried about missing anything here, I'll wait. I'd wait on that one. Okay, so I got now I got George up here. I think I brought this up. Yeah, I did. All right, because he was doing something fancy here. He's working with the George is, he figures shit out. Analytical mind. Okay, I want that. Oh, okay, right. So this is band primary. So he's using visibility. It's something he's tapped into. Okay, so we're out on the weekly of band, right? I know this is one that he likes. I think he's got a pretty good position in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Any question about the impulse? Probably not, right? I would assume we can all be comfortable with this and coming out of here with a 5, right? I mean, it is a 5. What? Right? It is a 5. Okay, A, B, what? I mean, it's not like this just only happens on the 1 minute, right? So what happened up here? All right, we can all just deduce what happened there, right? That this is why, just as, you know, I try and give these examples all the time. You never, okay, back to, you never want to buy the highs. Ever, 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 ever. Oh, we're in log scale, so it's going to fuck me up. No. So, God damn it, this thing is never the first click. Okay, so there's the premium. All right, when you're buying it right here, is that where you want to buy it? No. No, we want to buy it down here. Where are we now? Would we be buying in the premium? Well, let's go back to how he... shit, I do not like this new thing they're doing. But we're stuck with it. Okay, so now that distorts all that. That's the problem with log, right? Everything gets distorted. But swing low to swing high, we've come double bottomed into the golden zone. Do you think that's a coincidence? Anybody? I'm going to tell you it's not. Okay, so A, B, right? We're stuck with that, right? So we've got our impulse. Now we're looking for a 3. Now this is a complex 3. Oh, George, here you always the jumbo. Jumbo size here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, right? It's good work here, right? So he's got a, do you see how he's got a, is that, yeah, must, all right? So we've got a leading diag here, 3, 4, to get, right? That's what you're looking for. If you're going to get a diag here, oh, okay, A, B, C. So to label that, his internal is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's good work. And here we are, golden zone, right? So we can look at this and we can, first thing, right, that would occur, right now we've doubled in there, so I do it that way. You got to play with it a little bit, right? I mean, that's just as valid, right? Because Andrews wasn't an Elliottician. Right? It's just as valid to do it this way, right? There's a little bit of a, oh, where's the angle going to fit better, right? This is, the earlier pivot is more bullish, right? You see how the angle slopes higher when I pull here, right? So being a bull, my guess is he'd want to do it this way. So where we're looking for 3, 4, 5. Let's put this up here. Now this is the fancy bit. Okay, so looking at where we are, right? So we're in a weekly golden zone, right? So first question is, would you have the patience to trade off a weekly? I'd guess 90% of traders wouldn't have that patience, right? Who has the patience to do this? Institutions. Why? Because there's no person doing it. Software doing it. Okay, A, B, C went down to a 5. So I've got my. What do we have here, George? Do we have a zigzag or I guess we have a flat. Ugh, fuck, it doesn't matter, right? So we expand the B. Almost doesn't matter. We finish with a 5, right? So and some nice work down here to get that 5 done. So he's got it. Here's the 3. He's got to go A, B, C, D, E into the 4, right, to get the 5, right? So nice triangle play there, which would not have been obvious, right? Because you might have been thinking, right? So here's good Elliott use, right? Oh shit, there it is, coming out of the golden zone. There's the 1. Oh, there's my 2. Nope, cannot have a triangle in 2, right? So it's got to be something else. If not this, then what? Right, we're not done, right? Double taps into it. Interesting, right? Do you see how many times this? Do you think that has been important to the market? Do we have your POC on there? Did you give me a POC in there? Yeah, you did. Let's fatten that up. I can't see it. Oh, it's way down here. Pardon me. I thought it was going to be in here. Well, we do have a high volume node here, but we have sort of a double distribution. Okay, but so you've got high volume here. So the reaction there, okay, makes sense. But we're not coming out of there. We're not screaming out of there. So let's go to the daily. Now you see boy, he had a tough job getting that triangle done, but it's sure as hell can't be anything. I mean, when you're like, oh my God, what the hell is this, right? Think triangle, right? You got a wick that looks like it goes through just a bit. So, whoa. Shit. I don't know, George, I might bring this over here. And you'd have to get this up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, candidate, right? It's just a candidate for the 2. A good one, right? Now, so if you were taking that trade, here, I'm going to go because he's made a point of giving it to me. And can we get her done? Let's take a look here. 1, 2. Do we have it? Let's just label it right for the time being. I'm not sure if that's done, right? Because this is a higher high. Okay, so let's go through that because I know he put some time into this. Is this ABC? I don't love that. Here, that's daily, because look how short in time the 2 is, right? So I'd rather the 3 was done in here. I don't know. We'll go down to something smaller, and this is part of the correction, so we get the whole thing done here. Remains to be seen. Okay, so what did he give me? He gave me. Yeah, let's go to the 4. I think he likely has the 4 in there. Oh yeah, here we go. This is cool. All right, so I gotta start doing this. This is what he was showing me this morning. That if you do these with visibility, right, that this won't show up. So this subdivision, right, you'll note didn't show up on the daily, and the daily subdivision didn't show up on the weekly. So this is kind of a cool feature that is built into TradingView. Okay, so do we have our impulse here? So that's what I was saying before. Oh shit, that's a little fucked. Yeah. Go to a 1. Oh, see, look at that. That's cool. Nice work, George. Right. Very, very well done. Okay, so what are we doing with this, right? Oh, I was curious how you were going to handle that. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's out there. But okay, on the one hand, you can look at this and say, okay, if we're talking about this whole, well, let's do it this way. If we're talking about this, right? Is that clear, Elliott? Is this obvious what we have here? Right? Definitely not, right? Can it be labeled, right? Well, George, right, who's is a very determined student and teacher, he's determined to figure it out, right? So he's going to go, God damn it, I'll bet I can figure that out. And so lo and behold, right, we have a series of little triangles here that make this possible. So oh fuck, how's he doing this? A, B, C into the B, C. So we get a W, A, B, C, D, E, triangle X, A, B, C. Wow, that's definitely, let me get mine out of there. That's some good work. But what you end up with here is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, is that the right look? I'm not saying the work here is not valid, right? It certainly appears to be valid. But in my book, that's... I mean, again, can it be labeled? But that's not really what I want to trade off of. Excuse me. It's... Oh, I guess that's locked. Boy, there's no way around it, right? It's just, so it's a running flat here. Well, let's see, what do we end up with here? Well, with the triangle here, so we can eliminate one possibility, right? So the odds of this being 1, 2, right, reduce because we cannot ever have a triangle in the second, right? So there's certain rules that you can't break, right? You can fudge and be on the edges and guidelines, but certain things, right? 2 can't blow excuse me. So sorry, God, the allergies here are just so horrific. A couple of things we can't compromise on. 2 can never go beyond the start of 1. 3 can never be the shortest, right? Doesn't have to be the longest, just can't ever be the shortest. and we can't have a triangle in the second. Those are the three absolutes. I'll work around the market on the others as guidelines, but those two are absolute. So we can't have a triangle in the second. So that, which is good news. Excuse me, it's good news because it eliminates possibilities, right? So we can look here and go, okay, well, if that's a 5, it's not a 1. So what's the possibility? The other possibility could be an A, right? So we're working through into a B, which he has labeled here. So this would be A, B, C. Now let's try and put that in context. Let's go back to his 4-hour. Again, look here, right? Is that a good looking finish, right? Is this the Elliott you want to trade off of? I would propose not. Oh shit, how are we doing it here? Yeah, I guess you do have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C into the 2. That's actually good work there. Okay, is that the 3, 4? Well, you're kind of stuck with it, right? So this is just shitty Elliott. I mean, not his work. I just mean what the market is offering here. Okay, I would be pausing on this myself, right? I would wait. I know he really likes this project, so for those of you that are interested, I mean, could you take a trade here, right? I mean, you could just do it this way, right? Do I have a swing high, low? Yeah, I do. I got a swing, right? It's very unclear Elliott, but it's a swing. If I come back down and I retrace into this area here, right on the edge of the median line, is there a trade there? Yeah, why not? Other than when I say that, right, the reason why not is because the Elliott is so unclear. Right? It's not helpful. Well, let's go back to shit. Well, let me do it. Okay, right. Again, because this is so sloppy, I'd keep my risk modest here as well as my size. Now, if I come out of here, if I come out of here with a good 5, well, again, we're not likely to go in a straight line. So if I get a little 5, could be a diag, could be an impulse, doesn't matter. Just give me a 5, and then I'll take the retrace and look there to add. Right, then I'll add to it. You don't have to load the boat like your full wad on the first entry. Right, maybe this little. Let's put a feeler in there. Do I get a reaction? Where am I likely to hit resistance? What happens there? Well, let's use the last swing high. Right? What happens when I get here? Right? Can I get there in a 5? If so, right, what's the next thing I'm going to do? Same thing. Right? If this is the 2, do it right here. Oh, very good drawing. Okay, right. So just algo ping pong. Oh, from the swing. Oh, bumped our head here on the golden zone. Okay, right. So that this wouldn't be your most ideal start, right? It would have to be 1, 2, right? 3, 4, 5 are going to be up here. So you would be assuming that it was 1, 2 again. That would you'd have to make that assumption, and you may or may not be comfortable with that. 1, 2, is that a 1? Is it a 1? I'm not so sure it is, right? So if it's not a 1, what's the, right? As he has it labeled, it's an ABC. Okay, well, wait a minute, though, that fucks up our count, right? If it's an ABC, I can't be done down here. If this is well, pardon me. You could, right? You could have a diag, right? So it could be a 3, but then you got to do the whole 1 as a series of 3s. It's okay, maybe. All right, so this one is just, it's again, much as this is a great project here, an Oracle like Chainlink, except it's built on Cosmos. Or he really digs into what they're all about. For me as a technician, I'm in a hurry up and wait here. I don't know what I have here. So I would wait on that one myself. But I appreciate that he's making this effort here, and I know this is one he's very enthusiastic about. Okay, let's see. Just to John Howard is him, right? I always forget. Who the hell is that? Why bring politics into this? This is just a joke. Does the far right? Yeah. We are one divided country. Okay. Well, I think, guys, if anyone has a request, how much time do I have? Yeah, I got 5 minutes here. If anybody has something they'd like me to look at, pop it in the chat, and I'll do it because that was the last one. We got another 5-6 minutes here. If anybody has one, if not, no worries, right? We'll just wrap it up here. It's a challenging one. Anybody? Jeremy Baker, he loves MATIC. Let's see, in Salazar, Jayton, Fett. Is there? I think that's what he's. I think he means FET. Yeah. But I think he wants. Do you want this? Is what you're talking about? No, probably not. Is that what you meant there? Zekala. Oh, I'd seen that before. I'm gonna guess not. That looks like a shitstorm right there. All right, guys. We'll just wrap it up early. We got 5 minutes. Yes. Then when will Bitcoin hit 100K? Well, I would tell you. It's a good chance it's this year. I'll tell you when it's gonna when they get this ETF approved. Then you're just gonna see that it's just like I've been saying for 5 years. Not a matter of if, just a matter of when. If they get that ETF done, I would not want to be short Bitcoin. I'll say it that way. I always say it that way. What did the market do? Oh shit, it's come all the way back here. Oh yeah. Hang on. Oh. Can't close that trade. No, it's trade I'm in. I can't close it. Okay. All right, guys. We'll wrap it up here. Shit, here now I'm getting really distracted. Thanks to all that hung out with us here. I don't know what he was looking at here. Bitcoin here. We take a quick peek at Bitcoin. Oh, these are a few of the things I'm in. This, for any of you that are ETF traders, this is one I just put on the other day. It's got a nice candidate here for this triangle now popping up for the 5th. That's the energy sector fund. I kind of like this one. You can trade this with options as well. And then let's take a peek. Bitcoin here. I don't even have a count on it because it's so unclear. So I just have market structure on it. Okay, right. What is this? Does anybody know? No, nobody knows. Could be a 2, could be a 4. Right. All I see is I've got to look here. What do we really have up here? Just a big box. Right. So is it distribution or accumulation? How do we know? Well, the one thing for sure we can say is there is an Elliott impulse there. There is, but this is so. All right, I went over this and probably we'll have to address this on Friday unless some news happens here. Is this a 4? Right? Is this some sort of hideous 4? Well, the immediate reluctance to put the 4 here, which is why I don't have this labeled, is look at the 2. We're going to have this baby little 2. Well, if anything is notorious for a baby little 2, it's Bitcoin. Ripper 3s, yeah, all good, right? But is that a 4, right? So then you got to think, oh shit, right? Is this what can it be? And it's just, as I said, right, kind of like, okay, there's smoke here, but I can't quite see what it is. Market hasn't revealed enough here. It's 3. There's nothing that's clear here other than liquidity is being grabbed on either side. So now we can look at it this way, right? Again, before you just go off and say, "Oh shit, I'm buying it," right? Let's just use the pivot, right? Where right? This, I promise you, it sounds so fucking annoyingly simple. Like, oh come on, man, it's got to be more sophisticated than that. If you just exercise that discipline to buy in discount and sell in premium, I promise you your results are going to improve dramatically. Because what do we see? Can you just feel the FOMO in here? I'm not saying this can't do this, but you can just feel the FOMO here. Oh, it's going to go right there. That ETF, it's coming. Yeah, the institutions are going to be in here any minute, right? It's coming. You can feel the FOMO just looking at the chart. It's just quiet. What do we really want? It's rare that I'm rooting for Bitcoin to go down, but I want it to go down so I know what the hell I've got here. Because right now, there's 0 people on the planet who know what that is. 0. Maybe less than 0, because there'll be people bullshitting you that they know what it is. Nobody knows what it is. No Elliottian can tell you what that is. Yes, it could be counted. Shit, I bet George has got a count on it. I think he does. I think he sent it to me down on like a very small degree, right? Can you count it? Yes, but I don't really care what it is. If it pops out of here, okay, well, fuck, some sort of weird 2, right? Look at all this mitigation this imbalance down here, waiting, right? Market doesn't like to leave that, right? I'd much rather it came down here and mitigate some of this so I can go, okay, well, now we can go. But boy, is that it's a bitch to call that. This, pretty easy. Can we do it this way, right? Is this internal? Does that look like a finish? No. So you're left. Well, since we don't know, what are you left with? You're left with disciplined. Okay, what's my discipline? My discipline is that we're only going to buy in the discount. I'm not saying sell because we're in the premium, because I wouldn't sell that. But rarely do I sell Bitcoin, right? But if I can get down here, boy, do I want to buy it. Careful up here. You know somebody bought it here. Oh, it's going. There, it's going, right? Oh, it's going. Definitely going to go this time. Oh, this time for sure. Oh, okay, so didn't go the last 3 times. It's definitely going the 4th time. That's what happens. That is literally what happens. It's going. It's going. Retail's going to buy it. We're going to go. I'd love to have this come down, right? Then we're in. And we're in. Okay, guys, I wrap up there. You guys have a good one. I'm sorry to lose my video feed there, but that thing follows me when that's not the first time it's happened to me. I appreciate you guys. Have a terrific day. I'll be back to you guys on Friday. Take it easy.